Hello students. So last class we were discussing about tools of recombinant DNA. So in that today we are going to discuss about cloning vector. Cloning vector is a small piece of DNA that can be stably maintained in an organism and into which a foreign DNA fragments can be inserted for cloning purpose. So cloning is a number of copies. Okay. The cloning vector may be DNA taken from a virus, the cell of higher organisms, or it may be the plasmid of a bacterium. So here in this snap you can see the types of cloning vector. One is the plasmid vector, bacteriophagous vector and plasmid. Okay, so in upcoming classes we are going to briefly discuss about this. History of cloning vector. So the scientists Herbert Boyer and Keiichi Itaro and Arthur Rix, working in Boyer's lab, University of California, recognized a general cloning vector with unique restriction site for cloning in foreign DNA and the expression of antibiotic resistant gene for selection of transformed bacteria. In 1977, they described the first vector designed for cloning purposes PBR322 a plasmid. Okay, so the first vector which is designed for cloning vector as PBR322 as a plasmid. So these vectors are very small, which have 4 kilobytes in size and had 2 antibiotic resistant gene for selection. So these are all about history of cloning vectors. What is cloning vector? The molecular analysis of DNA has been made possible by the cloning of DNA. The two molecules that are required for cloning are the DNA to be cloned and a cloning vector. A cloning vector is a small piece of DNA taken from a virus, a plasmid, or the cell of higher organisms, so that can be stably maintained in an organism and into where within foreign DNA fragments can be inserted for cloning purpose. So most vectors are genetically engineered. The cloning vector is chosen according to the size and type of DNA to be cloned. The vector therefore contains features that allow for the convenient insertion or removal of DNA fragments in or out of the vector. For example, by treating the vector and the foreign DNA with a restriction enzyme and then ligating, that is a DNA ligase, the fragments together. After DNA fragment has been cloned into a cloning vector, it may be further sub-cloned into another vector designed for more specific use also. So in the tool of recombinant DNA technology, we are dealing with cloning vector. So it is a DNA molecule that can carry a foreign DNA segment and replicate inside the host cell. So examples of plasmid, bacteriophages, etc. So on the left hand side of this now you can see the bacterial DNA and plasmid. Okay, so that is a bacterial cell where it has a plasmid as a cloning vector. So here in a bacteriophage, that is a T4 bacteriophage structure. Plasmid or autonomously replicating circular extrachromosomal DNA of bacteria. I repeat, plasmid or replicating circular extrachromosomal DNA of bacteria. So some plasmid have only 1 to 2 copies per cell. Others have 15 to 100 copies per cell. Bacteriophage, it has a high number per cell. Okay, so it has a very high copy number of the genome within the bacterial cells. When the cloning vectors are multiplied in the host, the linked piece of DNA is also multiplied to the numbers equal to the copy number of the vector. So what are the features which is required for cloning into a vector? So there are 4 important features. One is origin of replication, that is ORI, selectable marker, that is a marker gene, cloning site, vectors for cloning gene in plant and animal. So these are the 4 important features which is required for cloning as a vector. So here on the right hand side of the snap you can see the E. coli cloning vector, that is PBR322, that is the first plasmid which were constructed by genetic engineers. Origin of replication. It is a sequence where replication start. Okay, so please keep in your mind, origin of replication is a sequence where the replication process initiate. A piece of DNA linked to ORI can replicate within the OR cell. It also controls the copy number of linked DNA. So for getting many copies of target DNA, it should be cloned into a vector whose origin support high copy number. Next we move on to selectable marker. So it is a marker gene in other terms. It is a gene that helps to select transformant and eliminate the non-transformant. If a piece of DNA is introduced in a host bacterium, it is called transformation. So what is transformation? So the piece of DNA which is introduced in a host bacterium is called transformation. So such bacterium is called transformant. If transformation does not take place, it is non-transformant. Okay. So the selectable marker, that is the marker gene which aids to help to select transformant and eliminate the non-transformant. So here the non-transformant is nothing but if the transformation process does not occur, is considered to be non-transformant. Selectable markers of E. coli include gene encoding resistant to antibiotic like amphotericin, chloroamphenicol, tetracycline, kanamycin, etc. I repeat, so these are the antibiotic which have the resistance for the coding like ampicillin, chloramphenicol, tetracycline, kanamycin, etc. So normal E. coli cells have no resistance against these antibiotics. Next we move on to next feature, that is the cloning sites. To link the alien DNA, the vector needs a single or very few recognition sites for restriction enzyme. More than one recognition site generates several fragments. It complicates the gene cloning. So here the cloning process taken place in the cloning sites. Ligation of alien DNA, that is a foreign DNA, is carried out at a restriction site present in one of the two antibiotic resistant genes. For example, ligation of a foreign DNA at BAMH one site of tetracycline resistant gene in vector PBR322. As a result, recombinant plasmid is formed. If ligation does not occur, it is called non-recombinant plasmid. So till this cloning site we can stop. Okay, so next I just have a question to you. Okay, so please observe the question. Question number 1. Select the wrong statement about plasmid. It is extra chromosomal. It is a double stranded. Its replication depends upon our cell. It is cloned and circular DNA. I repeat the question. Select the wrong statement about plasmid. So think. And now check the answer. Whether your answer is its replication depends upon host cell. So this will be the wrong statement. So next we move on to next. Which of the following statement is true? A vector should have an origin of replication. A vector should have selectable markers. A vector should have unique restriction site. Option D, all of these. So just check which statement is true. I am just going to give you minute timing. Yes, so now check your answer. All of these. Yeah, so all the statement which asked in the question is true. Thank you.